Tommy, they dig the vibe, man. The vibe is so similar, don't you think, Calhoun?
I do. I dig the vibe personally. So
Yeah.
what's not to like?
You
You
know
know,
something? We were talking about coffee the other day. I think that it doesn't matter what you do on your YouTube channel in terms of the what starts the subject, right? But it's how everybody kind of hangs out and just interacts. There really is just a lot of similarities. There's no telling where Tommy Stiggs is gonna take a show. There's absolutely no telling what he's gonna talk about. But his taste in music is excellent. He really has excellent taste in music, and he's got that accent that just sounds like home, right, to people like me and my brother. How'd
oddly
you
enough,
sleep?
to me too, even though I've never been. I slept really well
Makes a
actually.
lot of sense, actually.
I went to bed pretty darn quick. I was in bed. I mean, I did stay awake in bed until about 10, but I mean, I've been going to bed a little later than that, so that it worked out well. Got some good sleep. I hit
Lest
my what?
I hate to have to correct you, but you've been to New York. But I just so that you never say that again as an adult. You may not remember, but you have
Not.
absolutely been to New York.
I have no memories of.
That yeah,
That's
that may
what
be
I'll
true.
say from now on.
Yes.
I have no memories of New York or the Northeast, but it does sound like home because it sounds like my
Do,
dad.
yes. Do
Sounds
you,
like
rem-
Papa
you
Scoville.
do you remember? Oh, and I believe that's probably why it really sounds like home to
That's
you, is
really
because it
why.
really sounds like your grandfather. But I got a question for you. You do you
Okay.
not remember? Do you not remember being in the Northeast ever? So you don't have a
How
memory of
how old
Killington
was I?
or four,
What are
four?
some other memories of four that I do have memories of?
Um, that's a
And
really
do
excellent. That's an excellent way to put it.
this is how I do my emotional processing.
I have to think about that, Calhoun.
Memory association helps a
You
lot.
know what? Same year as Disney. You lost me. You know what? He kicked me off. But sometimes that happens just with the internet. In fact, sometimes it happens a lot with the internet. YouTube has rehabilitated me. My God in heaven. Do you see this? I had
No,
4 mini strokes, and my thought to speech was off by talking on YouTube. You probably cannot tell it worked. You know what, Tommy Stiggs? You had transient ischemic attacks, right? TIAs. I had a TIA and a stroke, and they're no joke, man. They really are not. Congratulations on the, because no, there's no telling at all when
yeah,
you don't seem to have any speech loss or cognitive decline or anything at all.
yeah,
In
you
fact,
seem
you make the
slick to
rest
me,
of us
brother.
sound, yeah, it makes the rest of us seem a little slow on the upkeep. Sorry,
I
we'll hold it against you.
have this button on my mouse that will send me back one page, and I just bumped it. That's what happened.
Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
which
Yeah,
is
Tommy,
great.
I would
Which
not have any idea at all. That's fantastic. It really is. Good for you. Balake Richardson, good to see you. And Jan Hobbs.
what is wrong with my setup? What's happening here?
Well, that
Maybe I
really
just need to
becomes the
clean my
question.
desk or something.
Where would you get that kind of disorganization? I mean, if
Who
you could see
knows?
my desk right now, it looks like an atomic bomb went off. Um,
So I did go to Killington then. That's what you just said.
oh, you've been to Killington. You went sliding. The first time you ever saw snow in your life was in Killington. We took you sliding. We
Not
took you.
sledding?
Um, we did it on inner tubes.
Okay.
We did it on inner tubes. So I basically kind of held you in a bear hug and got in an inner tube. And
I feel like I remember that for sure.
Lurch's mom, my best friend's mom, went out of her way to make this happen. You and I. So here's what happened. See if this
I don't
jogs a
remember Lurch
memory.
either.
Well, Lurch wasn't there. You didn't run into Lurch there. So here's what happened. We went to a little restaurant in Killington called the Back Behind Saloon. And as
The
we were
back
pulling
behind?
in, the back behind, because it was back
Okay.
behind everything. So the Back
All
Behind
right.
Saloon. And as we were pulling in, I said to your mother, I said, my best friend's mom works in this restaurant and has for eternity, right? Like since it opened. And she said, you haven't been here started in with the normal. There's no telling. I said, nah, she'll work here. And I went in and we sat down and I said, "Hey, is the big C working?" And the guy said, "No, she's not." And I went, "Oh, bummer, but she should be here in about 10 minutes." So I called up the hill and I just said, "Hey, I'm down here. I got my wife, I got my kid." And she said, "Are you going to take him, sliding? Are you going to doing anything?" I said, "He's pretty young." She said, "I'll bring an inner tube." So she brought an inner tube down and she said, "Just, go up 100 yards or whatever. You got to do something for him." And that's about what we did. But I took you up about 100 yards. And of course, there was no stopping. Right? I had to do that about 14 times because each time I tried to get back to the car, you detonated like an atomic bomb. But yeah, we took you, you went sliding on an inner tube in Killington. And then we took you all over the place. You saw a lot of the Northeast. You saw Jersey, you saw Boston, you saw New York.
Really?
We did a little tour. Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
I've been to
Where do
all
you
of those
think you
places.
were when you became Spanx Calhoun?
I have no idea. I thought I was
You were in
in
Boston.
Salt Lake, I guess. All of
No.
my memories, I just assume, are from Salt Lake.
So the story of Spanx Calhoun, I drove from Texas to Massachusetts to run down one of the brothers that used to rip me off constantly for cash,
Love that.
and the one of the Luby brothers named you, or spit the name out, and you kind of took it and ran with it. But yeah, that was in Boston, Massachusetts. That's where that took place. You saw a lot of the country, Calhoun. You saw a lot of the world. We took you around. You definitely got around.
Maybe that's where I get my travel bug from.
Well,
I'm
you
getting
never were a kid that bummed out at all about any aspect of travel. You were a kid you could take on a 26-hour road trip, and he did not give a crap. You did not at any point start doing "Are we there yet? How long is it going to be?" You were an excellent little road tripper. You kind of looked out the window and grooved, providing music was on. "Hey, Joseph, good to see you." Well,
music makes
we were actually
everything.
in Southie when Spanky got that nickname. We were in Southie.
Lol.
Yeah. That's where we were. We were in South Boston.
Proud of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jemiah
Running
Long
down
COVID
some
Council
lowlights.
says, what was that sliding mountain they closed? The Serpent or something was too dangerous?
There was there's one in the if he's talking about the Alpine slide, yeah, there was a slide in the Northeast. I do not remember the name of it, but
We
if
had
you're go ahead.
something in Salt Lake called the Alpine Slide at Snowbird in the summer, and it
Uh-huh.
was like this track. You would walk to the top of the hill,
Yeah.
and they have these carts. You would grab your cart and kind of drag it up the final stretch of the hill and
Yeah.
get in line. And they would kind of look like water slides, but there's no water.
Yeah.
And you put your little cart in there, and this cart has like a little handle right between your legs. And if you
Gas or
can't,
brake.
can't remember if you pull it or if you push it down, but when you apply pressure, it gives you acceleration. It
Yeah.
pushes the wheel down and pushes the front of the cart off of the track, right?
Yeah.
So you can just nail it down and just cruise. You can get so fast. I've seen people shoot out and really, really hurt themselves.
So
But that thing is serious. I love that thing.
The Alpine slides got a lot of traction in the 80s. Now,
Okay.
I have taken you on Alpine slides before as well. And you are correct. You push forward, right?
Yeah,
on
it is
this little
forward.
stick. And and there are two little rails that go up and down on them that are brakes. So when you push it all the way forward, those rails are gone and you're just all wheel. Now, they became issues bad in the Northeast because people were flying out of them left and right and getting really seriously injured. Most Alpine slides now have been re-engineered, right? So most of them now have a pole that the thing actually rides on.
Interesting.
So you can the cart locks onto a pole. Now, it doesn't mean you can't fly off that cart, but they're
Well, see,
making
that's the
go ahead.
thing. It's like I don't know. I feel like the people that flew out of there
Are
are
idiots.
the ones that hit that setting on everything. You know what I mean? They're like, let's see what max is.
In fact,
Well, I
I
guess
don't
he
have
didn't
the
like the
camera set
skin
up. I don't
on
have
the
the
right half
camera
of your.
set up, but I could probably throw Johnny Scoville on right now because that is the idiot we're talking about. I mean, no
What
disrespect to Johnny, but if he were to
did he
get on an
fly out of the
Alpine
Alpine?
slide, have you ever flown off of an Alpine slide, Johnny Scoville?
No, I've come close.
It took you a
That's
long
trick
time
question.
to say. It took a long time to answer
Yeah.
that, didn't it?
I rode
Yeah,
a
it
corner
did.
halfway and half out. I rode a sweeping corner half in the thing and half out of the thing, half falling over the edge. It swung around a corner.
So the answer is
pulled me out of the seat, and
The
the answer is yes.
okay.
The answer is yes. He has fallen out of an alpine. There he is.
Hey,
Yeah, the answer
I'm
is yes.
gonna.
He has flown out of an alpine slide. There you go. Look
There we
at
go.
that. You have
Let's get him in the
you
middle,
already
huh?
wanted to ride on some Heather Roads. You know what? Alpine slides are a lot of fun, but I promise you, right? They are more dangerous than they look like. And
They're very
Jeremy Sheldon
dangerous.
says, set that slide to ludicrous speed. We want to go
I
back
love
that and
ludicrous
into
speed.
plaid. Right?
Yeah, I love ludicrous speed. I have to say, if you just approach it with a little bit of caution, you're going to be fine. You know, just a
Oh,
little
that's you.
caution.
That's you. You've always been that dude, right? I've always been that dude.
No.
My uncle's always been that dude. Caution, right? We're known for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't think
Nothing,
so.
nothing screams caution like the Scoville family.
I value the skin on my body, you know, and the teeth in my head.
He says he values the skin on his body. Can you give me one of these? Because you look a little like. Actually, it's the wrong digit. I was going to say you look a little like Jerry Garcia, but you've already lost a bit of a digit, right? Yeah, we need you to be careful, man. I wouldn't recognize Southie now. Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time. It's been a couple of decades.
Well, I have to say, I can't wait to have memories of the Northeast that I can remember. You know,
that are more modern.
Yeah. Like I can't wait to create new memories to be playing right in the Northeast. I can't wait to go back and visit, and then I won't have any reason to feel like I've never been. You know?
Yeah. No, we definitely need to rectify that.
Rectify?
Damn near killed him 5. We used to have an alpine slide in Chattanooga.
Chattanooga. What a word. I like
Tennessee.
that.
My sister tipped over and couldn't get back upright and wound up with bad road rash. Ouch. Her boyfriend stuck his hand under her face and got road rash there. Well, good for her boyfriend. I mean, something to be said for that. They're dangerous, right?
Yeah,
no lie at all. These things are no joke, man. You know what they did? For those of you who are having a difficult time like visualizing this, you know when you watch the Olympics and you got the luge, the one-man luge, where the guy goes down feet first? Okay, that guy's sitting up with your hands between your legs, and instead of the thing being made of ice, it's made of concrete. What could possibly go wrong?
The one at Snowbird's made out of like some sort of plastic.
Really? I've not seen it ever anything but
concrete. You know where the pool is at the cliff, right?
Cliff Lodge, yeah.
Yeah, and there's like a little, like kind of like a sidewalk that winds up next to the pool.
Yeah.
And then there's a pole right there.
You're
tower.
Going off the side of the building.
Well, no, so that's the zip line right there, but the alpine slide is right next to it. So like so where am I on camera? Cliff Lodge, the sidewalk, the tower, not directly in a line, you know what I mean? But the last in line is the
So I'm not going to recognize that either.
Why?
How often? This is a great question from Layla.
I was just thinking of how to answer.
Sorry, that's a great question.
To me a lot early, more often early on. The longer I go, the less they back down. But early on, the answer was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not so bad. The more sober I got, the more silence the more I was able to silence them.
What about you, Calvin?
Great question.
You know, I think that they had a lot more influence in the beginning. I don't know if they're ever going to be a non-issue. I don't know if I'll ever be, where am I, cured, you know, of the negative thoughts. But I definitely am way more well-equipped, I think, now to deal with them. And I definitely see them coming. You know, I definitely don't ever not recognize them, right? So I think definitely it's still a constant thing. It's still something I constantly have to keep in check, or be aware of, I guess. But it was a large problem in the beginning.
It was bigger than I see. I am the exact opposite of both of you. When I quit doing dope, I rode this at least for guilt. I was
they call it
everything else.
Pink cloud. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get the more traditional pink. Like I was miserable when I stopped doing dope for the first 5 years. I was miserable.
I mean, that makes scientific sense.
However, I didn't spend a lot of time beating myself up about my past. That's not what made me miserable. For the first 5 years, what made me miserable was the fact that I just wasn't high.
Yeah,
Like that's
you
all I could
didn't
think
have
about. And it
any
was just,
chemicals.
yeah. I mean, it was that constant feeling of, oh man, this isn't right. I don't feel right. I don't feel right. I don't feel right. I don't feel right. But as I got more sobriety under my belt, and I spent more time coming to grips with who I am and becoming a person, I started to really wrestle with negative thoughts. And the negative thoughts were not current, they were vis-a-vis my past, if that makes sense. Right? I don't have negative thoughts about my life and currently what's going on. If I do, it's always tainted as looking through the lens of the past. For me anyway.
I think that what makes those your ants current and like what makes them affecting this present moment is you're probably also judging yourself based on these past memories, right? You're saying I'm a bad person or I did bad things to yourself. You're having a negative self-talk at the same time, I would imagine. Am I right?
I think there's probably something to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's
Which
probably
is
something to that.
something we need to nip in the butt. That kind of thing will wear on a man. You know,
Well,
wear on anyone.
no question. But I'll tell you something. Here's the most important part of this for me, man. Anyway, um, uh, metric. I think that the chances are Calhoun's genes came from his mom, which is lucky because she's a considerably better looking. Um, but I'll tell you something. I think the most important part of that question, the takeaway for that question, needs to be this: man, you got about 8 minutes you need to get through. People will F up an entire day, right? Or an entire month or an entire year sitting and talking about the Jones, sitting and talking about how the fact that they want to get higher, the fact that they feel like they're going to uh, that relapse feeling, right? If you can get through 8 minutes of that, it's going to go away. If you feed into it, it can last forever. Cheech, congratulations, man. That's beautiful. 18 years free of the penitentiary by the grace of God. Booyah. 18 years
Yeah,
free of the pen is that you have won, my brother.
yeah,
The
good job.
statistics say there ain't no chance you're going back. You
Hell
get by
yeah.
5 years, you're doing really, really good. Once you get by 5, the statistics of you going back drop out of the bottom. And when you get by 10, nobody goes back. You get by 15, I promise you have won the lottery, my brother, and you earned it.
I forgot what
A
I was gonna
regular
say.
show with me and Johnny. You know what? We have agreed that we're going to continually do every solar eclipse. We're
She's
not
talking
missing
about
one.
me.
Oh.
That's my
I hate
calendar.
to. I hate to.
Well, you know what? I would prefer the hell out of that. Do you see that? How about you two? They would like a show with you and Calhounus. You
Metric.
can't
She does
just do.
not. I'll tell you about my red hair one day. Not today.
Um, not. I would consider that. You can tell that story anytime you want, Calhoun.
Yeah,
The
I know.
vast majority, you know,
I
doesn't.
get it. I
Um,
personally don't want to tell that story today,
okay. Uh,
but
you have
I look
a
forward to it.
Cheech Rhino says, thank you. I have a beautiful, I'm going to say you either say going with wife or child. And either way, man, I'm pretty fired up that I have always been a person, that I could not get clean for me. I tried for 3 decades to get clean for me and I couldn't do it. It didn't happen. And I tried so many different ways. I tried 12 steps. I tried every single approach that you could take, and it just it wasn't going to happen. When I started to realize that there were people on this planet that were more important than me, and that they really were the reason that I wanted to get clean, and I was able to focus on that. The next thing you knew, I wanted to be clean for me, but I sure as hell couldn't do that in the beginning. In the beginning, I hated myself. Oh, Calhounus. Oh, Calhounus.
Rest well, Miss Sunrise Dawn. We'll see you later. All right.
Lumen, good to see you.
I love the red hair. My grandma used to always call it strawberry blonde. She always had a way of putting things.
Are you talking about?
Mom's mom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a pistol.
What was the other stuff? She used to say all kinds of funny stuff. She still does, actually. Strawberry blonde. Yeah.
She's
Me and my.
she's a lovely human being, and I'm not
She
being a
is.
wise ass at all. I'm
No.
not.
Yeah.
I
Shout out to
truthfully and
Graham.
honestly, yeah, I truthfully have mad love for my my former mother-in-law. I mean that, and my former father-in-law is a really good dude too. I do not have any ill feelings at all for either of them. They're great people. It's a true story.
I actually called Mom the other day when I was getting a little overwhelmed, and I kind of told her what's been going on, and she said she might come check it out. So for all I know, she's watching, right?
Oh, wouldn't that be a pisser?
That would be fun.
Yeah, wouldn't that be?
I doubt it, but
no, there's no hard feelings or animosity there either, and it is what it is. It's
shout out to my mom. Love
sure.
her.
Yep. There has not been a day that has gone by from the day that I met that woman that I haven't prayed for her. It's a true story, and have no intention of stopping. It's something that I do. Hey, Cricket's here. Cricket, you know something?
So
I love cricket. I'm nervous about cricket because I'm coming to the realization. Yeah, I love cricket. I really do, but I'm coming to the realization that cricket doesn't sleep.
It's overrated.
Johnny Scoville says it's overrated.
She's just on that new math.
So she's awake 9 hours a day, but those 9 hours are
separate from the 24 hours that are in the day.
Oh,
it's that new math. Yeah,
there's
time outside of time.
Oh, okay, you got one of those cool things you spin. Yeah, be careful with those. I've seen bad things happen with those.
Talking about the time turner or dreidel?
Hey, yeah. Yeah. Where do you think a wizard goes to get one of those repaired? They just look like watches, Calhoun. There's all kinds of things in there.
With Christy says, join me to get to know Captain Calhoun tomorrow during my interview. Let's get to know him beyond the boat. I forgot to bring this up, but there it is. She didn't. I probably need to do some meditation to get my things in order today. Get my thoughts together. But yeah, I'll be over at Conversations with Christy tomorrow at 11 our time, so 11 MST, or I believe that's also Pacific.
We are Pacific.
Are we?
Yeah, we were Mountain a month ago, Calhoun, but now we're Pacific because of the time change thing.
I understand.
Yeah,
there's something called Mountain Standard Time,
and we're not on it.
I disagree.
Would you like to put $500,000 on it? Trust me when I tell you
you can't pay that out when I win.
Trust me when I tell you Arizona is on Pacific Standard Time right now. Okay?
We can revisit this later. I'll show you
it's
where
just
I found
when
this
you tell people what time you're going to go live. We're on.
Oh yeah, so 11 Pacific, 11 a.m. Pacific tomorrow.
Excellent. Johnny is considering a kilt.
You were just talking about that. I was who said that? It was
red plaid, green plaid.
Jen on Neen Hobbs said, I'm a sucker for red hair or a man in a kilt. So I was saying just the other day, we were talking about, remember that?
How about the combination of both?
Yeah, I don't have red hair. Spanks can pull that off.
No,
I
but
look
I'm
good
saying
in the kilt. I look way good in the kilt.
I should imagine you could rock one. I've always been
let the goatee out, killer.
See, I think that the red tartan thing, but I've never liked kilts in other colors, like the green. I don't know what they call that, but that very like the Beefeater gin guy.
Traditional, right?
Yeah, okay, that guy, the guy on the Beefeater gin bottle. I love that look. That is a make sure the pattern doesn't belong to a clan. See, I don't understand any of that stuff.
Yep, this is important.
Funny story of it, but yeah, I don't understand any of that. So how does one go and get a kilt then and make sure that the pattern doesn't belong to a clan?
Well, I imagine you go to like a place where they make kilts, or go talk to someone that knows something about kilts. Probably.
I looked at it. It's pretty. Have you looked at it?
Yeah.
You need a kilt guy, Uncle Johnny.
I don't think you're remembering it the way you think you are.
Show me a picture of it.
Like it's full on. I don't know if you could. I'd pay to see you in that. That's the beefy. I don't think it's what you were thinking.
No, that's not the guy I'm talking about. That's not even close to the guy I'm talking. You know the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
They have more than one logo. You Weisenheimer. Johnny goes
Yeah,
for the. He goes
I
for
was
the
thinking
full
of
length.
that guy too.
He goes for the full length dress. No, I'm talking about the guy in the and you know, yeah, he's a wise ass because he knows what I'm. You knew what I was looking for and went for that anyway.
Oh, you typed in beefeater.
Plaid gives you the
Yeah.
Catholic uniforms. Yeah, alley-oop. I can see that. I never wore any. I never wore uniforms for school. We never had to do that growing up. You did, Calhoun, for a little while.
Did what?
Wore a school uniform.
Oh,
I did. I do remember that actually.
I'd rock that to death.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You think red better?
Yeah,
I think red's better too.
Yeah,
That's the style.
That's the style. That's the style.
Here, I'll show you the color that I want.
Oh Lord, that's.
Can you guys picture the Admiral rocking all of that? Look at those little bows on his toes.
That doesn't look like a kilt to me.
It's not a kilt.
Yeah, that to me looks like there's your that's
the bogey right there.
That's the guy right there. That's the one we were looking for. Is right there. That's the guy, and that's the dude that was always on the bottle.
Now,
except he had bagpipes. The guy in the bottle.
I need to be doing that in the video.
Yeah.
Oh, but hang on. Look at these are different colors you can get, man. Look at those. There's some cool ones.
But see, every one of those has got a clan name after it. So all of those they all do belong to clans.
Buchanan Scoville. We'll just add the Scoville at the end. What are you gonna do?
See that? Johnny's just he's just like
he's on fire.
Like
he is on fire.
Cameron is good. We could be Cameron Scoville.
Well, no, but I mean, like you're just jumping up and down all over these clans and saying I'm making this my own.
Hey, can everybody see this? I just want to see this. This is the craziest thing you're ever gonna see. Just so you talk about different clans. How about this?
There's only about 1,000 of them. He's showing
a beef eater.
Those are all clans.
What is that? That's a term. That's so it's not just the name.
It's a name brand. I was using it from the. I don't know where the derivation of beef eater comes from. You want to look that up?
Sure. What does a beef eater do in their uniform? You know what I mean?
What is the uniform? I'm assuming that they're. I have no idea.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
It was due to their mighty stature and a hearty daily duty ration, which included a large portion of beef. See, the king's bodyguard of the yeomen of the guard at St. James Palace are the original beef eaters, having earned their somewhat jocular name since the 16th century, because they were big and they ate a lot of meat.
That's it. All right. Apparently, they were large gentlemen. Did a lot of eating of beef and bodyguards to the king, yeomans and whatnot.
Okay,
there you go.
Fair enough.
There you go. They also donned a very, very attractive kilt. They guard the Tower of London? I don't know, Soaro, but I feel like the people who guard the Tower of London wear a much different raiment, and I'm not looking to rock that. Right? Like I've worn a kilt before. I wore one to somebody's wedding. I was in a wedding party and I was asked to put on a kilt. And I got to wear one of those red numbers. And they had actually they had a whole little outfit. Like everybody had them rented. They even had shoes and the whole works. And I dug it. I thought it was pretty cool, truthfully. But there's
a little bit of a vulnerability, I think you feel.
And you'd be shocked the number of people that just want to lift up your kilt. It actually happens quite a bit, more than you would think. But
you know why? Because how often are they going to see you in a kilt?
Well, let's see. I've worn one once, so
people don't know how to ask permission
every day. It's commonplace. No one's going to think about it.
Yeah, people don't. It's one of those things. Depends on the time of the year and the beef eater's uniform. Jen Hobbs says they have summer and winter uniforms.
That makes sense.
I'll be damned. Well, no, that makes sense. The summer one then is the one that I'm considerably more comfortable, with the mindset. The big shirt that looks like the thing from Seinfeld. I don't know, man.
Puffy shirt.
The puffy shirt.
I don't want to be a pirate.
See, you get it. All red kilts come from Scottish clanmen family names such as McGregor, Wallace, and Gordon. Excellent. McGregor, Wallace, and Gordon. Lady Crispin, led a campaign to save a particular tartan that was, honestly, I'm not going to do any justice. You should interview her because I will do a bad job. But she actually saved a place that made a particular tartan, and she got a bunch of people together and raised money to do this. And it was a very, very cool thing. I just am not doing it any justice because of my cognitive decline. Last year, I probably could have told you a hell of a story about this, but she saved this stuff, and they're still making it now, and it would have been gone. And they had been making it since the 16 something. It's very, very cool.
What does the word tartan mean?
It refers to a pattern, Calhoun, a specific pattern. And I think if you Google it, it might pull it up. And if I'm wrong, I don't think I'm wrong.
Well, it's more fun to ask you.
Yeah. Well, I don't always, and usually if I'm right, Calhoun, I'll roll with it. But if I have any doubt whatsoever, I'll do I'm not 100% sure on that. Hey, Balake, be careful on those quick showers. You know, it's the most dangerous room in the house. Getting in and out of there. Be very careful.
I slipped in the shower once and like pulled a tendon in my foot or something. I couldn't walk for like a week.
It is the pattern of tweed. Thank you, Rona.
Pattern of tweed. I like that word, tweed.
Yes, that's
big
the tartan.
tweed fan.
Tartan refers to the pattern of the tweed. Thank you, Rona. I love a definition that's like where somebody's just, you know what I mean? It's a family tradition when you go up to somebody and you say, I was wondering if you could tell me how to get to, you know, such and such street. Yeah, you want to go down the actually, wait a sec. The tires would light up. My uncle and my dad had zero patience. If somebody started giving them directions and they didn't have them perfectly, they would drive off and leave the person standing there.
Yeah,
I always thought that was the rudest.
The chief was a magnet for people that had like no ability to give directions. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Well, you guys got any fun plans today? Got some book writing?
Don't go right.
I you know, your uncle is not doing any book writing. There was he's going to be leaving shortly to go do that. He's going to write on a lake. Sadly, right as he was getting ready to leave, there had been a death in the family of the people where he's staying, and the patriarch actually of the family, sadly, but so they were
Sorry to
taking
hear
care of
that.
that. Yeah, well, you know what though? 97, Calhoun. How's that? I mean, if
Dang.
you're going to make it,
92.
oh, 92, my bad.
Still though.
92 still fantastic. 97 is, you know,
It's a long time.
here's an interesting question. Do you want to live to 97?
No. Nope. I want to live until my quality of life isn't there anymore. But you know, I'm also a young man. I'm older already than I thought that I would live to be. So
Funny how that
I
happened.
mean, at this point, like all bets are kind of off. I don't know what to expect. Most of my ideas of what I thought that I wanted are archaic and outdated. So don't quote me.
Yeah, but
Kind of rediscovering all that. But yeah, no, I don't want to. I don't want people to have to take care of me. I don't want to be a burden. That sounds terrible.
metric. Yeah, there are a ton of tests that doctors can run to test for early onset dementia, Alzheimer's, cognitive brain issues, etc. on a mid-40s. Yeah, absolutely. The fact that they're blowing you off means that you need new doctors.
They blow me off too when I go in like that. Same thing. They're like, people your age don't get cancer, and I'm like, I hate you.
I
tell them my dad had cancer younger than me. You know?
It's one of those situations, people, that if you don't have a doctor that is handling what you need done, then you need a new doctor, right? And if you got to be a jerk about it, then you got to be a jerk about it. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Cognitive decline, this is your brain. So if you feel like that you're losing it, then you need to find another doctor, because there are actions you can take in your 40s that are going to make your quality of life in your 50s so much different than if you don't take it, right? If you are going down that road, if cognitive decline is starting because you have early onset dementia and you're watching TV for 6 hours a day, you're going to go bad fast, right? And that's one of 400 things they're going to tell you that you need to change in your life. right? There are things in your diet that you're going to, do differently. There's a bunch of stuff. But if a doctor says, "Oh, you're way too young for that," then find another doctor, because there are things that they can do. And you know what? The tests suck, right? Some of them are good getting put in the tube where they're just taking pictures of your brain, but a lot of it is things that feel like IQ tests, where you go in and you sit down and it's, they're, because it
Patterns.
isn't, yeah, exactly, Cal. And you're looking for patterns and you're looking for things, but you also have to be all in. You're not going to go in 5 minutes. And Brianna, apparently this is how it's been told to me. I think that every neurologist may explain this differently, but this is what my neurologist said to me. We were never designed, right, to watch a television set. It's not how we were built. So when we look out into the world and we see things in a way that is very, very normal, right? That's how our eyes work. When we watch television, that is not even remotely how we see things, right? They have designed this thing that they call movies or television or edited stuff that are really short little clips of things. And the process of your brain putting that together and assembling it into something that makes sense isn't something that flexes your brain in a positive way. Like the neuroplasticity of the brain, it's not helping. It's doing really bad words. Repeating numbers backwards, they've told me that is something that they talked about when I first got diagnosed. That's something. They talked about things like Shannon Smith. They said if you're going to be using a computer, make sure that these things always have a blue coating on them. His real name is Mike, right? Calhoun is
unfortunately. We're not long lost relatives, unfortunately.
Yeah, he is. You are not long lost relatives, and well, maybe that's good, Calhoun.
Right. I mean, I feel like I have some long lost relatives out there, for sure.
You do. Yeah,
something inside me just tells me they're out there, not looking for me.
You know what? They may not know you're alive. But we all have relatives, I promise you. If you got yourself put into those, those databases or whatever. But
my eyes are killing me, man. I need to get some blue glasses. Spend so much time looking at the screen.
You absolutely need them, and you need them now.
Oh man, my eyes are really bugging me today. Holy crap! I'm gonna go get some eye drops today.
Yeah, well, you know what? When you spend I do not look at a computer screen without looking at it through glasses that have a blue light filter on them.
Do you find the need to moisten your eyeballs ever?
I do not.
I don't usually either, but my eyes are irritated, dude. Maybe some moistening wouldn't be out of the question.
Yeah. Does this happen when you're not looking at the computer all day?
I can't remember the last time I didn't look at the computer all day.
Okay. Yeah, then that's the eye strain is pretty serious stuff.
I like having 20/20 vision. Maybe do you want to help me run some errands today, Dad? Do you have time?
Yeah,
if you don't, it's cool.
Should probably, but it's going to be late in the afternoon. I tried saying this yesterday at the end of the live feed, actually, and we cut off right. But my auntie, your great auntie, is in town.
Great auntie.
Yeah, Ann Caston is in town. I don't say her name because there's a hospital named after her. I don't think I'm doing too much out of right. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm really outing somebody. She has a hospital named after her. But yes, your auntie is in town, and I think I'm going to be getting together with her. She is one of my favorite humans. I just really, really enjoy her company.
You're talking about your other sister, right?
No, that would be your aunt. I'm talking about the eye surgeon. Yes, from Florida, my mom's brother's wife.
Oh, but
the eye surgeon's
but he's not here.
No, just she is.
Okay. Cool. I don't know if I've ever met her.
Yes,
I can't remember ever meeting her.
Yes, you know where you met her was at the Nani Do you remember
I
the
met everyone at
50th?
that.
Or what was that? It wasn't a reunion. What was it?
You know,
It was a
my
funeral
best
while she
memories
was still
from
alive.
Yeah.
It was a funeral while she was still alive, is what it was. But it was a great thing, wasn't it? We all got together. What a cool thing.
I have vivid memories from that trip. I remember talking to you and my cousin about Slim Shady. And I remember you making fun of my cousin for liking Slim Shady. And I was like, what's that? You know? And I remember dropping the F bomb in front of great grandma
Yep.
as a
Good
4-year-old or
times.
whatever. Good
Good
times.
times. Good times.
Um,
What you remember is it being brought up that day because you actually did it 2 years earlier. But that day
Really?
it got a lot. Yeah, that day it got a lot of talking. Yeah, you were too when you dropped that one. It's no lie, like this, like the thing from Family Guy. It wasn't your first word, but boy, oh boy, it was one of the first ones. You dropped an F bomb pretty early on. It was yeah. Spanky has really blue eyes. He has
they
very,
look
very
gray
blue
in the
eyes.
reflection, to be honest. They are much bluer than they look, at
They
least
are
on my
really
screen.
they're really, really blue. Yeah.
And the way
And blue
they,
eyes are more sensitive to from what they say, blue eyes are more sensitive to blue light. So really need to get you some blue blockers.
yeah. Yeah, and if you don't have time today, no big deal. But I could use a hand with some things when you do have some time.
Yeah. It all is going to depend on what time, because I see her about once
Yeah,
every
no,
5 or 6 years.
I
The dread
I
pirate
get it.
Calhoun. There you go.
I heard someone refer to Uncle Johnny as the Buccaneer earlier. I thought that was pretty legit.
We always hear about somebody having a great aunt. Does anybody have a all right aunt? I know that there are some out there that are pretty crappy ones, right? I don't know if there's got to be a few just all right aunts because
I've got some all right aunts.
I mean, I'm because there are some aunts out there where you go, nah, it's not that great, right?
And then there's some aunts out there where you're like, hey, you know?
Well, what's funny is she would be Calhoun's great aunt, but regardless, she is absolutely a great aunt. She's one of, as I said, one of my favorite people on earth, and has been since I was a little boy. She never treated me. She treated me like an equal. I think at a young age. Maybe that's the wrong way to put it. She communicated with me at a young age like I wasn't.
She talked with us.
Yeah, when other adults didn't want to talk to kids, she definitely had conversations where she was listening to you. It wasn't just a matter of, she was a lot of fun.
Seventh says all the glasses he sent you were blue blockers. You don't have a third pair, do you?
The problem with those, Calhoun, and they're absolutely phenomenal. They're also they're not clear. They have a prescription.
Oh well, yeah, that's not going to fly.
And therein lies the rub. But I have a pair of those glasses. I think that I got from Seventh as well. If I didn't, I got them from someone else, but Seventh had already sent me a pair as well. I have a pair that are just clear that are blue blocker, and they do make a difference. We'll get them to you. Even no matter what we do, we'll try to get you to them today. She treated me with respect, SB. She also, I mean, because I try to treat everybody with respect. I really do. I try to treat everybody with respect. And I'm not good at it, but I try. I think everybody tries. What she did was the interest that she took in you was not, it didn't seem put on. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like people always come up and ask you. Yeah. People always come up and ask you a series of about 7 questions when you're a kid, right? How are you doing in school? Right. What are your favorite subjects? Are you playing any sports? Right. And those are the kind of things that you just got when you were a kid from your relatives. And she was just very unique in that she wanted to sit down and talk to you. And yeah, it was very sincere. And what was fun was right around the time that I was meeting her, she was an OBGYN, right? But wanted to become an eye surgeon. So this was a person that had already gone through all of that school and now was trying to change to become a surgeon. And the time that we were there, everybody was going out like every night. They were all my parents and everyone. They were much younger at the time, right? So everyone was it was a slightly it was a wilder crowd in that they did go out all the time. And she was staying back to study because she had and I remember thinking, boy, that sucks, man. Like everybody leaves and this woman just sits here alone. It's like 4 days. So I said, hey, I'll stay back with you and help you run through those flashcards. Now you know what I mean? I had that memory, as a kid. So by the time we were done, I think I could probably still rattle off, 90% of the words from,